Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Sorry, Drew, you say I'm live here. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Everyone's watching out there. We are here. Second end of draw 7. Delaney Strouse versus Kimberly. My name is Mark. Doing your commentary. The board early with the deuce here. Just bear with us a little bit while we get everything going. Trying to get all the games done here, so it takes a little bit of time here. Should be a good game today between Team Strouse and Team Ryan. Team Ryan dropped a tight game earlier today. They had a decent sized lead against Team Peterson. A couple of pistol shots, but not very vicious. But to come from behind from Team Peterson. This game is going to be pretty important in terms of standing. Team Strouse here sitting at 3-0. important game in terms of pool play and tiebreaker implications. Very possible to have a few teams. Yeah, we could have a three-way tie at 3-1 for the straw after the at the end of this round here. So. Team Strouse in pretty good position here with one kind of buried off the center line. Let's see if the call is to, I would assume toss another center, but looks like they are going to try to wrap this around here. I don't know if they can get it behind much. And yep, just a little bit of staggered. Sitting 1-2, probably looking at some sort of run here. Just gotta be careful of which angle here. Oh, looking for intern run here. Might be able to spill the shooter. Should be able to spill the shooter in. We'll see here. Needs to cross the space here. Oh, a little bit of late sweep here. That should be good to get one. Shooter's gonna roll towards the corner and not quite make it in the rings, but now they got double corners, plus sitting second here. Looking to hit back here. And working the carpet to get to nose, just inside nose. Nice little flop there. So Strauss sitting 2 again here. Still pretty easy double here. Sure if they can, if they're just gonna try to go for just essentially a hit and stay. I mean, I think they can get the roll to the inside, but I don't know if they can get all the way over. So probably just looking for the double and stay. Catches it, maybe just a hair high. Gets the back one, and unfortunately the other one kind of rolls 3/4 buried behind the corners here. So now Strauss will go ahead and kind of split the rings here. Got a couple of options to go here, and probably just gonna put it, try to sink one top 4 and keep the force on here. Hanging out there is the way, but probably not a bad thing to get this kind of separation. And pretty even with the other rock there, so top 8. Couple choices here, probably too far to roll, so I'm looking to get a little aggressive here and just kind of draw behind their corners here. Can definitely get shot out of this one here, but not a ton of space. Sweepers had to come off of it, I guess, for weight. And ended up crashing on one of their corners. Still have... They were able to roll that corner in, so I guess they're technically sitting 3-4 here, but Delaney quick to come up, and we're just going to go ahead and rip this guy out. Going hard for line here, trying to get maybe an inside roll, but cross the face and roll the other way. Shooters should still stick around, so now Strouse sitting 3 here, still pretty wide open, so Kim's still going to look to get her deuce by going under the corner, although they ticked it over, so it's a little bit further. Still can get shot and be buried here. Sweeper's on and off, so pretty decent signs. Got a little room to get buried here, but I don't think they want to because of the weight here. A little bit of weight brush to get a little bit of buried. That'll settle in for shot rock. Not quite buried. Just a little bit more than edge to edge. Should be plenty to see here, so we'll see the first of skips rocks. I'm looking for just kind of a quiet weight. Quiet weight hit here. And we're off. Sweeper's on it pretty hard, but it's coming in nicely. Should be able to hold this. That's fine. Yep. By the guard and makes it nicely. Rolls back into the open here. So we'll see. First skips rocks from Kim Rhyme here. And we'll look to see here just this another quiet weight hit and see if we can tuck it behind the guards here on your right hand side of the screen. Sweeper's off it. It's got quite a bit of room. A little bit of late sweep here just to try to carve it. Won't get the inside roll, but will make good contact. Actually rolls back out towards the center here. So a couple choices here. I don't think they'll ever freeze here, but probably you have to get rid of this one here. And probably try to hit and roll to your left-hand side to get a little bit of cover underneath the one that's top 8. Forcing Kim to just draw for her single. On it early for line here. Should be crossing nose. I'll get a little bit of roll. Let's see how far that rolls here. Yeah, it rolls just a hair too far, but just fine here. So mission accomplished. And it'll force Kimberly to draw and just bite the forefoot. Just deciding which turn they want to give a shot here too. And it looks like they'll be taking the intern side. Yeah, I think optically it's a little bit better. I guess you could make an argument for playing the other turn, and you kind of got some backing or some chip and rolls. Skips rock here. Last skips rock. Looking to draw. And just touch the forefoot. Sweeper's on it early, but don't seem to be super worried about it. Just managing it down. On and off it a little bit. Always a good sign. Walking it in. Just a few late licks, and we're putting it right to the button. So good end by Team Strouse, forcing Kim to draw for the 1. So we're up, Team Strouse up 3-1 with Hammer, going to third after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And we are back. Back with 7th draw in the U.S. Open Curling at Blaine, Minnesota. Our game is Team Strouse versus Team Rhyme. Heavy implications here for pool play here, with Team Strouse being 3-0 in pool play, and Kim Rhyme just behind at 2-1, but obviously big tiebreaker implications here. Strauss, I think we were looking to set up a corner, but came in, and so Team Rhyme elected to go ahead, spilled out, so they'll now have a chance to set up a better corner here. Lexington set up the corner on the other side here. Sweepers were a little bit worried about mine here since they jumped to the other side, but this is coming in nicely, so... Well, in terms of line, maybe a hair heavy. Yep, and it looks like it is in the rings here. So we'll be ripping this out. Not sure if, yeah, with it just outside the rings, they can, definitely hit it and stay out here, and then we may have some action. But who knows? We may see a blank too. Sweeper's on it early, but Kim kind of waving them off. Wanted to make sure that they get it and then kind of roll towards the side there. Rolls a little bit far to the other side here, and Delaney's up here quickly to, looks like we're going to go ahead and rip this one. Looks like we'll get to nose. Yep. Simple nose hits. Let's see if we can get some play to the center here. So, looks like we're going to be exchanging mostly hits. Well on pace for a blank end here. So, while this end kind of unfolds, do a quick update on some of the other sheets here. So, we've got, looks like 5 different games going on here. So, looks like Team Anderson is up 2-0 over Shield. In the second, McMakin over Workin 1-0. The second, and then on the men's side, we've got Team Casper up 2-0 over Fenson, and in our other game, we've got Team Wendling tied up with the Team Jason Smith, 2 apiece there. So a lot of curling action, although I think this is the only game that we have commentary for this draw, but you can watch all all 5 games, which I think is really awesome. So if you are a fan of one of the other teams or don't like my commentary, more than welcome to check out any of the other draws that we've got going on here. Also, guys, please please share this with all your friends. You know, it's very important to help grow these streams here, and we can definitely do that by getting more eyes, and word of mouth is always great. So feel free to share. This is how we get commentary for curling to be on the level where I think it should be, you know, just like any other professional sport. So while I'm talking, I guess there must have been some sort of miss that I guess I was not paying attention to. So bad commentary on my part, but looks like Ryan was able to set up a center, and now we've got some play that's going to gravitate towards the center. So must have been yeah, it's got to be a flash hit of some sort by Team Strauss. Didn't see what exactly happened, if it was just miss or, you know, if it bad spot. So now to look up for it, they're going to try to hit and roll to the side, and then Kim's going to face a decision here if we're going to go underneath or hit that Strauss rock. Broom placement, I'm not sure what they're asking for, but my assumption is that tapping of the chest is looking for a little up normal here and hit, and maybe try to hit and roll their way back towards the center. The guard there is pretty long, so no need to give like a easier deuce to Team Strauss here. Now Delaney switching gears here, and she's going to be looking to go under the center, which will, I guess, in turn force Kim to come underneath here. It's probably looking for something here, top 8, maybe bite the 4-foot-ish. It's got some curling to do here. Sweeper's on it a little early, but backing off it now. It's starting to move here. I don't think they want to go for the weight, so I think they're just going to let it kind of slide in. This will slide in. Maybe just a hair deeper than they wanted to, but yeah, we're going to be top 4 there. Yeah, top 4 dead buried. Pretty good rock there, like I said. You know, I think initially maybe just a shade deeper than they wanted, but it's definitely going to force their hand here, so. Looks like we've got a back line to. No, it's got to be more than back line, so probably just like a just through to hack waiter here. See if we can just push that back behind T. So first of skips rocks here. Let's see what Kim's got here. Yeah. So let's see where this is going. Yep, gotta sweep it to get past the guard, which they do clear it. Trying to see if we can get as close to nose as possible. They make contact and end up moving that to the 12 foot. Moving it not quite to third, but moving it to second rock here. So now Team Rhyme sitting 1 and 3. And we'll look to hit this rock, and my guess is roll open and see what Kim elects to do with that. A little bit of sweep here from line, and hit, yep, and rolling open here. So I'm not taking too big of a chance here. I mean, you have the option to try to sink one in, top 8, center line behind the guard, but then you bring 3 into play, so not a fun call, but probably the right call. So, looking to see if we can hit and roll here. See if they can get it partially buried. And the hit's made. Yeah, probably just a little bit late in the sweep. Should be able to roll still in an okay spot, but should be able to dig it out. Hard to sweep here. And sweeping rolls out, so single for Delaney Strouse. They are up 4-1. Rhyme looking to get some points back here in the 4th inning. We'll be back after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium. Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And we are back into the fourth end here. Team Strouse up 4-1 over Team Rhyme. Team Rhyme with hammer, so looking to get some back this end here. I am joined on commentary now, so I have Lisa here with me to join me on commentary. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, you're not alone anymore.
I know. It's nice to have someone to talk to.
Yeah,
and ask questions too, because
it's always easier to have a conversation rather than just talking into nothing. So, give me a rundown on the game so far. How are the teams doing?
Teams have been doing good here. I think there's some spots in the ice that's either tricking them or who knows, it's early season. Not very often you see a 3 in the first end, and then this last end looked like we were well on our way to a blank, but then a flashed hit kind of got some play to the center, and then this last rock was hit and rolled out for a single, which was probably best case scenario to get the force and now to get the hammer back. So
are we just seeing some better handle on the ice from the Strauss team?
Well, like I said, I didn't get a chance to see the first end here, but I think it's been kind of tricky. So the games I've watched so far this weekend, I think there's just certain spots that have kind of either fooled them or whatnot. But yeah, this Strauss team is a good team, but at the same time, so is Team Rhyme, and they're decently matched. They've played a lot of games over the years. Looking at Curling Zone, I can see Delaney has a slight edge in their games played, winning 7 to Rhyme's 5 here.
Gotcha. So, and Rhyme they were in the past game that you were commentating, right?
Yeah, they were. I got a chance to do commentary with someone I believe you know.
Yeah,
Ryan.
I know him pretty well. Yeah, we got the siblings doing some commentary this weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys sounded great, so good job on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. It was a lot of back and forth. They had a couple 4-enders in that one, and a really nice comeback from Team Peterson. There were some great shots made by Corey Christensen late to kind of turn the tide here.
Yeah, I was impressed by that game. I remember leaving the house seeing, I believe it was 5-0, And I was like, well, this might be a quick game. And an hour later, I was like, oh, they're still commentating, and it was a much closer game towards the end. So it's always good to see a nice comeback every once in a while.
Yeah. So we've got rocks in play here. Nice double and rolls to a corner there. So decent situation for Rhyme here. Although we'll see if Delaney's able to. I don't know what's the call here. Do you sink one underneath, or you guard your one on the back four?
Yeah, I think I like the draw underneath. I haven't had a good chance to see what the strategy is for these two teams. Everyone has their own like preferences, and but I think I'd go with his call. Seems like the ice is curling quite a decent amount, hey?
Yeah, it seems to be good. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some teams it's jumped a little bit on them at the end here, and so we've had a few shots kind of, wreck and tick on some guards, and then also some shots just come up light here, like this one here. Maybe just a hair light. Yeah, I mean, in and counting and.
It's nice that it's a little open in case, they need to play some type of run back on it. It's not tucked under the guard, which is a good thing. Yeah, I find if you're going to be a little light, it's good to be open. At least you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, looks like Team Rhyme's asking for a hit here on this one. Now, with it being behind T here, or which side do you like rolling to? Like under the corner?
Yeah, I would say probably under the corner guard there, because otherwise that's a pretty short run back on that red.
Having to go hard to keep it up here. Should get a little bit of roll. Nope, just dead nose.
So what's the strategy for Team Rhyme here? What end is this? I can't even tell.
It's we're going into this is the fourth end here.
Fourth end. So what would you like? What kind of mindset would you go into this fourth end, being down 3?
Well, I mean, it's still got some curling to do here, but I mean, even then, I would think you would want to go hard for a deuce here.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna want a multiple.
Yeah, and I mean they have some corner setup here, but they're gonna have to get some sort of hit and roll. And while we're saying that, Strouse is getting a hit. I think they were expecting it to stay a little straighter and maybe tuck it underneath that corner, but now.
It's not looking like the most lively house out there. Like, what have you seen over the weekend so far?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's been some spots that been kind of a dead roll here, or even shots that have caught it a little thin. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't rolled all the way out. So I guess looking for hit and roll here, having to come from the outturn side here. Well, I guess there's a little room in no, yeah, it's got to be outturned.
Yeah. What's your preference on hit and rolls? Do you like throwing them touchdown to, have a higher chance of keeping that rock in play?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, that's what I like to do. Is I like to try to, have the sweepers engaged, and I usually trust my vice to call the line to manage it. But if I need a big roll, yeah, then I usually tend to be a little bit more upweight, I guess. Yeah, I don't get a chance to play those shots too often, though, being based out of Oklahoma City, where don't really have proper curling ice.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, so it's a arena curling, which down here in the States is what we kind of refer to for shared ice, so like shared with hockey and figure skating and whatnot. I might get a chance to play. I may get to play 20 games a year on dedicated ice at various spiels that I have to travel to.
So what are the ice conditions like there compared to, an actual curling club?
So what you, I mean, we've made some big strides with it, but like you kind of you're kind of at the mercy of the rink conditions. So you get a lot of random cuts in the ice from figure skating and hockey players. Um, our our rink tends to have high spots towards the middle, and everything kind of falls towards the board. So early on when I started, ooh, nice little result there. I don't think that was the
That was
call.
beautiful. It was beautiful anyways.
Yeah. So Rhyme here, I guess they're gonna have to make a play at the center here and double. I mean, I guess they could make this and sit two, so they could definitely flip this back in their favor.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty decent spot to be sitting if you make that double. Good setup for two.
Yeah, but getting back to arena ice, yeah, I mean, it was very early on when I started curling in Oklahoma. It was very common for us to throw about 6 feet of negative ice for draws, and I mean, you're having to throw pretty big weights. So my first time on dedicated ice, I definitely threw the house a few times.
Yeah, I guess that's quite the change. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Leduc last weekend for a women's event, and at times I was like, I don't know how to throw light enough to keep this like
Oh yeah.
in play. It was so keen. You really gotta focus on just kind of barely kicking out of the house in those situations, and
Got a good one here.
that was beautiful. Nice.
Really nice. Yep. And shooter's there for top ring, so now sitting two. So now I guess decision time for Strauss here to either tuck one behind, or you got to make a play at this top one, right? You can't just leave it there as a counter.
I think so. You're up 3. You just kind of want to, like, if they end up getting 2, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You just don't want to give up a 3. That's worst case scenario for Strauss.
Yeah, Ryan was telling me he's going to be playing up in Leduc in a couple weeks. So is that so from someone down here in the U.S.? Is it do they have like events like at Leduc like
so
once
it's
or twice a month?
actually it's actually kind of a new thing that Alberta's doing. It's called the Alberta Curling Series. So all of the series events are in Leduc, and we actually have some like the curling zone cameras installed in Leduc. So all of those are being live streamed, which is awesome. So yeah, a lot of the Albertan teams are making trips up Leduc. I think there's, I want to say 5-ish women's events. I don't know exactly how many men's events there are, but my team is going into 3 of those. And
that's awesome.
the competition has been amazing. We've had teams from like Ontario and BC, and no, it's great to have some consistency, knowing what events you will be playing in and knowing that the ice is going to be consistent. And yeah, it's awesome.
Has there been more teams entering these events, like kind of maybe partially because they're getting more coverage there in Leduc?
I'm not sure. I like to think so, but since the curling stadium live streaming is a new thing, I think maybe even next year would be.
We'll see more of it then.
Yeah, I totally think so. It's awesome to get some exposure from all over the country and into the U.S. Yeah. There was some teams from Switzerland and Korea and all types of places. So
Nice. Gotta hit and see if they can spin this on.
ooh, did it come back?
Yeah, I think it's got a bit of the house there. Yeah. Not. I mean, it's in there, but I think it's, obviously chance now for Rhyme to kind of bury one underneath, and then.
Yeah, I think you're pretty happy if you're the yellow team right now.
Yeah, I think so. Just got to make sure we keep it in a good spot. I think sometimes we've seen some of these shots come up heavy this week, so.
I did notice that actually in the last game there were quite a few that kind of sailed through the house. But is that just kind of teams getting used to how fast it is?
That's a good question. Maybe. I mean, I think it's relatively early for the U.S. competitive spiels. I've been spieling a bit recently, but of course nowhere near this level. But I think this is one of the earlier ones on the U.S. calendar.
Yeah, teams are just settling in, and a lot of these teams, I'm assuming, are brand new teams after the Olympic cycle kind of wrapped up. So we're seeing a lot of brand new teams on the Canadian side. I'm not sure what it's like in the U.S.
Yeah, we've had a little mix up here. Mostly on the high performance side, not too much on some of these, other teams or these self-formed teams. I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not as familiar with these teams because they haven't had the coverage, in past years. So if anyone in the chat knows a little bit more about Strouse and Rhyme, please let me know.
Yeah, I mean it's great that they're doing these live streams because the teams that may not have gotten as much exposure will now get the opportunity to, show off their skills and not have to pay for it, not have to invest money or time or sponsorship money into it themselves. So it's good.
Yeah. Now, are they looking to actually get the double or just roll towards the other yellow here?
That's a good question. It's hard to see what that angle's like. How steep it is.
Yeah, look.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Thank you, production. Yeah, it looks probably just rolling, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like quite enough weight for
pretty hard there.
Oh!
What?
Wow.
Oh, a little unlucky to spill out there, but
that was very close. That was a good try.
Yeah, very good. That was a little bit of a bad break. I guess you gotta hit that just
teeny bit thinner.
A little bit thinner, yeah.
Yeah.
So looks like we're just having to draw it of just half in the 12-foot to get the deuce back.
Yeah. It was a well-played end by both teams, but I think there were just one too many yellow guards in play for the Strouse team, and Ryan managed to take advantage of that. So that's what those guards are for.
Yeah. Sweepers appear to like this one, so I wouldn't expect this one to be. I would expect this one to be pretty good. So
yeah. Skips usually make an open draw to the house, like a good 80% of the time, I would say, at least.
So Team Rhyme gets their deuce in 4, so score now Strouse up 4-3 going to 5th with Hammer, and we'll be back after this break.
All right, and we're back. Four, 3, Strauss.
Yeah. It's good for Team Rhyme to get their deuce back there, giving up 3 in the first end is tough, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
Good.
hard to bounce back after those situations. It can put a team down pretty easily. Not that many, but
So while we get underway for this fifth end, we'll do a quick update on some of the other sheets here. So on the men's side, we've got tied up game between Team Casper and Fenson. Smitty, Jason Smith, up 4-2 over Team Wendling. And back on the women's side, we've got Anderson up 5-1 over Team Shield. And then tight one in the McMakin working game with McMakin up 4-3.
all right. So we've got a center guard for Rhyme, and Strauss just made a nice hit and roll to the side. Hopefully, keep play in the wings of the house.
Yeah, so if you're Team Strauss here, are you looking hard for a blank here, or with the lead in hammer?
I guess, I don't know, every team kind of has their preferences. Some teams are all about, scoring in the even, and I'm very much one of those people personally, so I would be very happy with a blank. But I think if that opportunity presented itself to get a 2, I don't see why you wouldn't take that.
Sure. Yeah, it's funny to kind of think in those terms. Me, being kind of a recreational arena curler, just score whenever you can. Just throw everything in the rings. Nobody peels it anyways. No one peels, no one blanks. Just throw it in there.
You know what? Sometimes I think teams may overcomplicate things a little bit. It's always good to go back to the basics and be like, well, you know what? If we score, that's great. So I honestly think whenever you have the hammer, personally just take the deuce. But don't go too hard to the point where there's bajillion rocks in the house, because you're very, very happy with a blank here when you're up 1 with hammer.
So
and sorry, these are 8 end games, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, 8 ends, and I believe they just go to an extra end. I know we've got a few different events going on this weekend with slightly different formats. So we've got a few rocks in play here, but one lonely guard, so... Oh, what is this? That is a flash.
Yeah, those definitely hurt.
Yeah, that looked way wide out. I couldn't see the release here, but... Looked way...
That's my bad on the production side.
No, you're fine.
I'll get it next time.
So Strauss, I guess, will try to sink one in here. Oh, both sweepers on the sweeping hard for line here. Line's getting a little bit better, but they can't relax here.
Yeah, if you can make this shot, it's quite the dagger to the other team.
Good. Well managed by the sweepers to hold that up here.
That was very nice. That is a perfect Christmas tree right there. Perfect diagonal lined up. Can't hit and roll under the guard.
Yeah.
This is actually very exciting for me because I'm basically a career second, but this year
Oh, really?
I'm skipping, so it'll be
nice.
good for me to, you know, see everyone's different strategies and what works for them, what doesn't work for them. Good experience.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I've basically kind of skipped. Oh gosh, for the past like 5-6 years, and I played my last Bonspiel playing second, and I was about to die. So.
Oh, that was almost a perfect shot.
Yeah.
No, yeah, every position seems a lot easier until you play it, and they each have their own challenges.
Yeah, I got to play second at a Bonspiel in Denver last weekend, and so sweeping at altitude, not fun.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a difference it makes, or if I was just in bad shape anyways.
No, you can use it as an excuse either way.
But good for them to catch that one. There was stuff spilling out to the side and almost took out Jared Allen, I think, on the nearby sheet.
Oh yeah, I guess they don't have boards. Is that common in the US to not have boards?
Yeah, it's pretty common, I would say. I mean, I say that, you know, having most of my experience in various arena clubs or, you know, places in the non-traditional curling spots in America.
Yeah, I find most of the clubs here in Alberta, I think almost all of them have boards. And then I noticed when we went to the BC, a lot of them don't have boards, and it's so hectic as a skip, trying to catch all the rocks. Like, that stresses me out just thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
Ryan with some work here to do. I guess.
Is she playing? Is she playing the hit and roll?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, nosing it. Yeah, I'm not sure what nosing it gets you here. You know.
I agree. Even if it's going to be behind the T line, I think you got to kind of try and hold the other team under the guards a little bit, and entice them to play a little bit more of a drawing game. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so for Strouse here, there's, I guess they can even just roll further open, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they want to roll under the guard. That gets a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Strouse definitely. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, just having to carve it in just a little bit. I think they were worried about mine, but yeah, that's just good nose there.
Yeah, that's good. So it looks, from this angle, it looks like the yellow one's closer, but obviously we're kind of closer to the yellow, so I'm not sure who's second shot here.
Yeah, I don't know if that would show up on. Well, yeah, I guess. Do we have the overhead for that?
Yes.
Either way, I still think, yeah, I guess you're just going to trade hits here and see so you can get in a better spot. it's amusing for me to see Jared Allen standing on the next sheet over and seeing how much larger he is compared to the young team of Strouse here on the next sheet.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Playing next to some big dudes, it really makes you realize like how small you are sometimes. I don't know. Joanne Courtney might be one of the only ones that can give them a run for their money in terms of arm strength, I guess.
Are you familiar with the story of Jared Allen?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. So, I guess I'll go ahead and discuss that. Well, maybe I'll save that for next end. Yeah, we're getting to some semi-important rocks here. Or maybe I can try to weave it in here. So, yeah. So Jared Allen, former American football player.
Oh wow.
Yeah, from the Minnesota Vikings, and the story goes he had a bet with a friend that he could medal in a sport, so decided to give curling a try. So him and a few other former NFL players kind of formed a team known as the All-Pro Curling Team, and and they've been it's kind of been an interesting conversation, right? Because it's how easy is curling, to kind of pick up, right? I think a lot of people kind of like, not a big fan of that idea, but at the same time, bring more eyes to the sport. And these are the people that are elite athletes and, have that kind of, desire to practice and mechanically are very good, when it comes to, football skills, and how would that translate to curling here?
Yeah.
So a little split here.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
very
really
nice
well
shot.
done. Very well done. I mean, a lot of separation. So
Yeah, they managed that very well. Sometimes those shots can be difficult to call for line and weight. So.
oh yeah,
Very
yeah,
precise shot.
yeah. You hit it too thick, and then you're maybe losing shot rock, and then just punching it out the back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so yeah, and with the another one of the former football players, Mark Bulger's opened up a facility, and it's a mixed use facility, so it's like curling, bowling, a few other things in Nashville recently. And so, but some of the other curlers aren't curling as much on the team, but Jared Allen's still giving it a go, joining up with some other names in the U.S. curling scene. Jason Smith, longtime U.S. curler. Dominic Markey, former alternate for the Swiss national team. And then Hunter Clausen. So that's going to be a fun team. So that is one of the newer teams this cycle, and that'll be kind of fun to watch.
No, that's cool. It's interesting to see other athletes come to the sport of curling and just kind of see, how they hold up and what they think of it.
Yeah.
And curling is a lot easier on your body than a lot of other sports, such as football. So it's good. I find like as people get older, they enjoy curling, especially because you're not getting tackled by people.
Yeah.
Although I think a lot of curlers could say they have a lot of knee issues. That's the one thing.
Yeah. So electing to hit this outside one. Seeing if they can get some sort of inside roll, but I think they're going to get a lot of no's here.
No, roll the other way a little bit.
So, looks like a draw for 2 here. Similar situation last end, just looking for a good part of the 12-foot, maybe 8-foot.
Seems like the hammer efficiency for both of these teams is pretty good. Yeah, that's scoring deuces so far from what I've seen from the Koreans I've seen.
Yeah, I mean it seems to be that way. Not a ton of peel, so definitely some guards coming into play, and and not quite getting some of these, hit and roll behind covers. So stuff's still pretty in the open. So generating some deuces a little bit easy way.
The Strauss team, I can tell they switch sides depending on, which way the rock's curling. They maximize the directional sweeping. Is it heavy enough? Barely.
Ooh, good job on the sweepers to get it there.
No kidding. That's what they get paid for.
Yep. So Team Strauss answers with the deuce of their own in the fifth end. So Team Strauss now up 6-3, headed into the sixth end after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
All right, we are back in the seventh end, or sixth end, sorry.
Sixth end, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Teams trading deuces the last two ends here, and so we'll see Team Rhyme elect to throw up a corner, and Strauss going into the rings on their first one. Going ahead and ignore, try to set up their deuce here.
I heard you and
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have brought this up. I don't know what my answer to that is. So far as a skip, I've been stacking. I guess it's just a preference thing at the end of the day. Like I like keeping that draw path open on one side in case, we have to bail.
Yeah.
It's a little spooky sometimes when you have two corner guards, kind of depending on how the ice is curling and how high you place them.
Sure.
It makes the draw path to the button kind of tricky on your last shot if that's, what you're left with.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't have a lot of experience in that area. I mean, I can't. It's very rare that I throw a corner guard. Like a lot of times, if they throw a guard, I'm just wrapping it around right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. It scares me to throw a corner guard after they've placed a center guard. Like that's just way too many guards. Obviously depends on the score. You have to do what you gotta do. But,
sure.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, it looks like Rhyme's gonna ignore the 2 in the rings and oh wait, no, I lied. I guess she is gonna. No, it is a draw. Okay. For some reason,
sometimes it's hard. Hard to tell how fast the rock is going
Yeah, it looked
on the stream.
firm out of her hand, so I just assumed it was hit weight, and it ends up being another corner guard. So I think we'll see. This is just gonna be a little tap, yeah. I don't think that's ice to draw behind. Up to the sweepers here to manage the line. Curling in quite nicely here, so it's just a matter of weight, I guess, at this point. It's pretty good result. Taps it up to just biting the button, and pretty well covered here. So Rhyme can't really go behind the corners here. I'm just gonna have to start addressing the play in the center here. This one's outside the waist, hits it. Oh, and just misses, clipping the one on the button. Yeah, I wasn't sure what angle they needed to hit that on. I don't know much about the. I think I said this earlier to Ryan's, like before each of the commentary games. I need to watch YouTube videos on the drag effect and how to manipulate it.
Yeah, I've been explained the drag effect like so many times, and I somehow still struggle to implement it during the game. And
Yeah.
you know, you think a rock's going to go a certain way, and it goes not that way, and it's I don't know. It's a lot of you need a lot of experience as a skip to know exactly what the rocks are going to do and how they're going to react. And I'd say Ryan's very good at that kind of stuff. So big flash there, eh?
Flash, yeah. I didn't know they needed to. I mean, I guess they wanted to hit that high side to spill them both, but I didn't think they needed that much. So here you're just drawing, right? No need to hit that one and roll necessarily, right? It's a pretty big roll to ask for, so you just sink one in, just draw.
Yeah, I think so. I hit and rolls are so hard, and I think teams sometimes forget that because yeah, sure, ideally it's great to get rid of that red one, but what's the percentage of making that shot? It's a really important factor, you know, as a skip. Because you know, making shots is one of the most important things in the game. Like, yeah, they nosed that one, and I think you know they probably would have had a much easier time trying to make that draw because the sweepers are more involved and there's a little bit more room for error.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder if they're just afraid that they sink one in, the other team throws a guard, that they're gonna have to make some sort of run back.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think when you're down 3, you kind of have to expect to have to make those shots if you want to score multiple. It's tough. Like when you're down, you're more likely going to have to make some higher percentage shots compared to when you're up. You know, you usually get the easy ones like the peels and the hits.
So looks like it's gonna, I guess, kind of work out for Team Rhyme here. So after they make a nose hit, Team Strouse hits and rolls out. So plenty of room for Team Rhyme to sink one behind some staggered guards here.
Yeah. I'm not seeing like a super easy double peel either for Strouse. They need to start peeling. Looking a little wide.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's out there's a way, but I don't know if they've switched the sweepers yet to try to get it to carve it in. Yeah, there they go. Oh, and this is short too. Wow.
It's not the end of the world. That's definitely the miss, I would say.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know if it's in a great spot to use it as a tick or anything. Or a split, sorry.
Yeah.
Later on in the end.
Yeah, it's.
Maybe, actually.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
no, it's close enough. Yeah, but.
Close enough, yeah.
So, do you like this call here? Just drawing beneath and instead of peeling here?
Not really. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of guards in play now. It's almost too many, and sometimes the best way out is to make a really, really good draw. But
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what Ryan wants Strouse to do. And sometimes you got to put yourself in the shoes of the other team and say, what do they want me to do? And this is, probably what the other team wants. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think this, yeah, drawing into sit 2 is fine, but now you throw one, that one's deep, which I guess takes away the value of a split here. So, yeah, now just draw and put it in a good spot here. It looks like she's tapping for T-line weight here. Do you like T-line here, Lisa, or do you like it just a shade higher, maybe top 4, top 8?
They're tapping the red back?
Are they?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confused about what they're doing.
Oh, I think they're drawing to the T-line here, just under.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is that where the skip tapped?
Yeah, and so
Okay.
I just didn't know what your thoughts on if it's better to have it a little bit higher, maybe like top 4, to leave themselves a little bit of room.
I mean, that's what I've always been taught for sure.
Oh, but it just looks like they are going to the back one.
Don't think that wasn't the call. So
I don't think it was the call.
I mean, it's not bad.
No, I mean, yeah, that's I guess that's your miss.
I agree.
But
yeah, that was kind of one of those shots where, I mean, like, if you would come just short of the house, that's not horrible either. But
yeah.
At this point, I think, the later on in the end, the more important it is to place the rocks exactly where you want them. Sometimes the skip doesn't have, a good miss. Sometimes they just have to make their shot.
Yeah. I see Keith in the chat. Good afternoon, Keith. Oh, we've got 40 people now joining us on the YouTube stream. That's awesome.
Yeah, and if anyone has any opinions on strategy, just drop them in the chat and we can chat about it. I'm definitely not an expert, I wouldn't say, on strategy. So
yeah.
always open to conversations.
I am not an expert, but I will definitely give you my American arena curler opinion on items here.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just hear different opinions.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Based on, different curlers and different stages of curling and based on how competitive they are.
That's a nice rock from Team Strouse there. So, not quite frozen, but gonna be tough to... I mean, just as good, yeah. It's just tough to remove that back red one now, so...
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible to remove that.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be an example where we kind of need really good placement here, right? Because she goes like right, on T line, right? Doesn't give, and then Strouse goes on top. Really tough to get a deuce here. So So
Mhm.
where do you want this rock ideally then?
Yeah, I would say you want to be as buried as you can be, and yeah, top four would be perfect.
Yeah.
Um, you don't want to show any of your rock, I don't think, because it's probably going to be a pickable shot.
Yeah. Do you ever consider like maybe putting in a spot to like maybe try to see if they'll chase it and maybe jam on that back red?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Um, I mean, try and make it perfect, but I think know where the tolerance is for sure.
Yeah.
Can completely bury this rock, and Strauss is going to have a hard time on their next shot. Maybe they just freeze to that if they can't see any of it.
Sweeper's on this early. Line doesn't seem to be a problem, so I think they're just going for a wait here.
Yeah, it's looking a little down.
Gonna have to work it really.
Ooh,
He
nice
just gets it
sweeping.
by the guard,
Oh, it's just
but it's
short.
short. So even though Team Rhyme's sitting second, third here, still pretty good for situation for Team Strauss now.
Yeah, it definitely takes some of the pressure off the skip because now instead of limiting what the other team is getting, you have the opportunity to
To
potentially
really
steal. Yeah.
put pressure. So what do you like here? Do you like? I mean, I guess that's where the team's talking about its placement, right? Like you can either go, top four to really cut down the scoring area, or you can put something a little bit higher to block the draw path here, right? It's a good
Yeah.
place to be if you're Team Strauss here. But what's your take on this, Lisa?
I guess if I was in this situation, I would probably put it where I think they're calling it, which is, top four. If you can bury like a sliver of your rock,
Yeah,
um, does that set up a double though, is the question.
yeah. And then if you're Team Ryan, you kind of have to take a chance at that being down 3, right?
You
Running out of
almost,
beds.
I'm almost thinking now that I see that maybe in front of that yellow isn't
Yeah,
necessarily a bad thing. Yeah.
like top 8. Yeah.
Right, where yeah, even just a little higher, so you take away that double.
Looks like the Vice is tapping up their top 8, so looks like they've kind of looking at that option. But that may be just kind of what's coming out of hand here.
hmm And I think they knew if they were short, that's not a
Yeah,
bad thing. The other
I
team takes one
I think that's definitely your tolerance here. So
for sure.
a lot of guards in play, no peels, not a lot, not enough peels earlier, and so I think this is all you got, right? There's I normally like to
Yeah.
say there's always a double, but I don't see it.
No, I don't see one either.
Yeah, Tony saying freeze to the yellow in top 4. Yeah, protect shot rock. Yeah, just something along that path is good. Yeah, I think maybe just a shade deeper is probably good. But yeah, just
Yeah,
no one
it's
gets
nice to
by.
see. Nice to see everyone commenting. Where is everybody from watching this stream? Because well, I'm from Alberta, and Mark, you're from Oklahoma, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
I remembered that. No, my dad was saying, "Oh, your brother's, commentating with some guy from Oklahoma," and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." I think it's awesome.
Well, this one's got some curling to do here.
No kidding.
I mean, it's late break here, but this has got to move here. Sweeper's on this, and I think they're gonna just get it. What a job by
Wow,
the front end.
that deserves a pat on the back for sure to those sweepers.
So single point for Team Rhyme here. Team Strauss up 6-4 going into the 7th, and we'll be back after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
All right, we're back into the 7th end. Strouse versus Rhyme, and Strouse is up 2 points with the hammer.
Pretty good, comfortable position here, so I mean, Team Strauss would love to blank here, but I think they'd be just happy just getting their single, yeah.
I agree, yeah. Anything, there's a lot of options in this end, I would say. Even worst case scenario, and I don't even know if this is worst case scenario, but Ryan gets a point, takes a steal of 1.
Yeah.
Strauss still has hammer going into the 8th of 1. That's a pretty good place to be in. I see Steve in the comment section said he was at the event. I'm curious to know how many spectators they have at this event. Is this like a generally big event in the US?
Yeah. I mean, this is, you know, I want to say in the past few years they've had a few more, or I'm sorry, just recently they've had a few more of these U.S. Open types events, usually just kind of nationals towards the end of the calendar. So, we're definitely seeing a lot of more of the self-formed teams, and it's just good to see the overall field getting bigger, right? You know, I think years ago in the U.S. you would see not as many teams enter in, especially on the women's side. So it's great to see more women curlers, and then also seeing kind of the next generation of curlers, you know, people that are coming out of our juniors program and sticking with curling, you know, at this level, right, rather than, you know, stop.
Yeah, what is the junior field like in the US? I'm curious to know.
You know, I'm probably the least qualified to ask about that, you know, not curling at a proper dedicated facility. But I can tell you, when I was at for instance, so I was at the Denver Curling Club last week, and it was kind of their semi-invitational, kind of semi-competitive spiel. And there were a couple juniors teams there, and one juniors team, they went, I think, 4-1 in pool play, and you know, it was a juniors team that I had an opportunity to play the year before, right? and we were fortunate that we won that game last year. We weren't in their pool this year, but I got to watch them this year, and they made huge improvement this year. And for those not familiar with the kind of geography of the U.S., Denver is, it's nice to have some junior development outside of the traditional, I'll say, curling communities of, say, like Minnesota and Wisconsin. So it's on the rise here, which is good. And but I'm sure it's pretty similar to Canada, where you have just a lot of families and second, third, fourth generation curlers.
Yeah, it's a very generational sport, I would say. Both my parents were curlers, and I can say that for almost all of my friends in curling. So, but I think, with the amount of streaming that we're able to do nowadays, that helps. I know a lot of kids coming into the junior program at my home club, they see curling on TV and, makes them want to do it. So,
Oh yeah,
that totally helps.
it does. Yeah. So Steve
Wow.
mentioned there was a guy who kept going around asking for more commentators. Oh yeah, felt like there was 50 to 70 people watching. Yeah, Blaine's a very nice setup there at the facility. Nice bar setup, good food. I like kind of the first row of chairs behind the glass, so it's a good watching experience. I've had an opportunity to curl up there myself and watch games up there and sit behind the glass. And good ice. Todd Burr, ice maker up there, does a wonderful job with the ice.
Yeah, thank you to the ice makers and event coordinators for this event. I think it's always important to recognize them, and they put in a lot of hard work behind the scenes. So,
Oh yeah, there's a lot that goes on to every aspect of the, not just the athletes participating, watching, so we can watch it, but then you also have volunteers, running clocks, officials, people making the ice, and then all the people associated with the production for the streams. So we've got rocks in play here, but no center guards, which is
looking for the double here, but it looks like it's just we're curling a slight bit too much.
so your team rhyme here. Do you have to make a play on this? Make this short run, or do you put up a center guard?
I mean, I think that's what they're discussing right now. And, ooh, I don't know. What do you see when you look at it?
Yeah, I just don't know if you make this run where you can roll two that doesn't leave a double back, right?
Yeah. And Strauss seem to be making some very nice doubles this game, so you got to be a little wary of that. It's a lot different going from U18 women's and junior women's into, actual women's curling, because you don't always expect doubles from the younger women, and then you get to women's play and you realize, no, they can make doubles.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting to see that.
I think it's awesome. Um, it's becoming more important, I think, in women's curling to be able to throw that big weight. And I think, Homan's kind of pioneered that, how important that is, and how much of an advantage you have if you can, you have a second and a third that can throw that big weight and make those doubles,
Yeah.
3 out of 4 times or every time. So,
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Yeah, I think you saw that with Homan, making those big weight doubles, or even some of those really thin board weight doubles too. Just
mhm.
making those very very routine, and seeing the kind of spread uh, through other teams. It's I mean, that's quality ice, quality of rocks, and quality of shot making for sure.
So they're just tapping, kind of freezing that rock to the back red, or
Uh, I'm not sure. My screen's a little stuck here, so probably just a bit
like,
behind you.
I guess I'll have to answer my own question. Yeah, they just kind of tapped that yellow up into their other yellow and then kind of shoved the red back a little bit. So there's this straight line of yellow, yellow, red, and
Yeah, I guess
um,
trying to leave some jams.
yeah, that's totally fair. Becomes more and more important to keep, catchers in the back house when you're down. And I think we're looking for a double here from Strauss.
Yeah, I mean, you don't care if you lose your back one, right? Like
No.
you can give up a steal one. You can even give up a steal at two, honestly. But I mean, you're not a huge fan of it. But
Oh, that did not turn out super well for that team. Um, Rhymes sitting two, one of them being behind a corner guard, actually, and the other one being behind a red that's top house. So this is I mean, it's a little sticky, but Strauss is still seeing, an open draw path to the middle. So I don't think they're too worried here.
yeah, now you gotta. So if your team rhyme here, right? Where are we going with this? Like just center in line, maybe like top eight-ish. Like try not to leave an easy double.
Yeah, I honestly think they need to somehow junk up the front there because this is too easy of a shot for the skip on
Yeah,
her last one. So yeah, you want to try and put some rocks in the middle, and I don't even think it needs to be shot really.
yeah. Maybe just to the right side. Like I guess probably not center, but just taking away one draw side.
Mhm. Placing it somewhere where if they try and feel it, that it'll jam. And you
Yeah,
don't want to set up an easy yellow double. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, because as we
nice.
mentioned, Team Strauss very capable of making doubles here.
Yeah, exactly. So they want it top 12, which I mean, I think that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
It does leave a double, I think. So I don't know. Would you ever just put it higher? Like just throw a straight center guard in the free guard zone?
Uh, I mean they're peeling it, and they may get a and just try to run it back on one of the yellows. So
Yeah.
I don't mind inside the rings.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
I
one
think
jumped on them.
Strauss is definitely looking to just keep that middle open now, and they're more focused on the skips last rock more than anything. Um, they just want a point, and they don't want to give up more than one.
Yeah, Keith with some of the analytics, yeah, from Curling Zone. One up with Hammer, 86%. Three up without is 97. So yeah, avoiding a multiple point steal, of course, yeah. Giving up one, not too bad, but yeah.
Nice shot by the Strauss third. Another double made.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can make those doubles pretty easily. Looks like they are very confident in their hitting ability, which is good.
Yeah, now do they, I guess here's the discussion, right? Like, they go behind it. It's just a short run, right? So you have to go like back 4, even maybe back 8 there behind that.
Yeah, I think you want to make the run as hard as you can. I think back 4 is not a bad shot. And then you kind of want to hope that the other team either misses their run back or chases, like misses their draw. You kind of need a miss out of Team Strauss here.
Sure.
Just the way things are looking right now. Which is never fun as the other team hoping for misses. But I mean, all you can do is throw them, the hardest, make the other team throw the hardest shots they can. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, just outturn and bury it, I guess.
Are they trying to go back 4?
I'm not sure where they ended up. I think that's the ideal place. I mean, I think they just anything buried, but yeah, just try to get a little bit of separation. Yeah. Chat, if anyone's quick enough, what do you guys think? What's ideal placement? Like back 4, or do you even have to take it even deeper than that?
It's really not too much of a big difference if you give up 1 point compared to if you give up 4, because it's gonna be hard to take 3. I mean, it's not impossible, but
No.
Giving up 1 is not ideal, I don't think, for Rhyme.
I have to. It's deeper than they maybe deeper, and they had to go to try to bury it. So.
Yeah, I think line was more important in that situation for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, you can see half of that. So we'll see if Delaney will chase after it, or what's the call here? Oh no,
I
that
mean,
double's not. Are they looking at that double? No.
There's a couple options. The run double maybe. Is that what they're throwing, or is she throwing a draw?
Yeah, I think it's just draw with backing. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess at this point you really need your skip to make this shot. So it's whatever they're the most comfortable with. And I mean, if she's confident she can make that draw, really you just need to get frozen to that back one. You don't need to be, top 4 or anything. Just cut them down.
Sure. But I guess the question. But if you freeze there, then this Rhyme just freezes on top of that, right? So is it better to kind of rip it here? Like play the run instead?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like sometimes it's nice to throw the draw on your first shot in case you need to throw it on your last.
Yeah, you're right. That actually happened to me at a spiel a few weeks ago where I played a hit knowing I just needed to limit the count, and I should have just thrown a practice rock on a draw, and even if they hit a nose that I just practice and not give
totally.
up.
And then the spot. Your sweepers know the spot. Your third knows the line. And although in theory, you'll make the second shot because you know it, but sometimes it's harder to throw 2 shots in a row than you'd think. Do the same shots, I mean.
Yeah, I've definitely played with a few players that say, "Don't tell me throw the exact same thing."
Gets in your head.
It does.
Yeah. I was in a similar situation in my spiel last weekend. I kind of threw a hit because it seemed like the easy shot at the time, but then, getting off the ice later and talking about it, it just made more sense to do the draw because I knew I was going to have to throw a draw on my last one. So
Yeah.
why not, practice? And then also it was early in the game. So, you know, at least I would have known my draw weight for the rest of the game. Okay, so hit and rolled off the top there and missed the back yellows. I mean, at least it's open.
It's open, yeah. So it's. Yes, you do. This is the tough part here now because you can bring a multiple steal in play here, but I guess you have both turns now, so it's accessible. And although again, would have preferred to have a warm up shot. So.
Yeah, yeah. Now she's. I mean, I'm sure she knows her weight, but
yeah,
maybe not as confident going into the last shot.
So.
In the chat, there's lots of people talking about.
Some of the analytics, yeah.
Yeah, analytics and what they would throw, and I feel like at the end of the day, it is kind of up to the skip and what they're most comfortable with, because there's no point in throwing a shot you're not comfortable with. I always say that. But so where she want this in a perfect world, if she could just go up and place that rock, where is she putting it?
I mean, I think just biting the 8-foot, sitting 3, right, and just like maybe covering a sliver of that back one. So I mean, like,
yeah, I think that
touching center, yeah, and just kind of messing with this outturn draw side,
Yeah, I think that's basically where she's tapping. Where she wants the rock. Don't want to be deep, that is for
heavy.
sure.
Wow, sweepers were really on that, and okay. I thought that was deeper than that. So
it's not horrible.
No.
Well, that sounds like a bad way to put it, but I mean, if you
yeah,
it hurts. It hurts the draw path a little bit. It makes it a little more iffy, and it's not tight enough that Strouse is gonna just hit it on the nose. So
yeah. No, I mean, I think no, it's after looking at the possible it's gonna force her into this draw, right? Like I think just maybe, and we'll see.
Another foot closer, she plays the nose hit, right?
Yeah, it got a little scary there. So
yeah.
So pressure draw here, drawing against 3.
And that's exactly what Ryan wants. Like that's all you can really ask for.
Sweepers are close, but not putting a lick to it. This one's gonna have to grab.
No cleaning happening right now.
This one's gonna have to grab just. Ooh, check them in time.
Wow, that was scary. It's never easy on the viewer to watch as the sweepers aren't even cleaning the rock. They're just
I was nervous for her.
Me too. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, Strouse gets their single, taking a 3-point lead into the final end. So Ryan with some work to do in the 8th, and we'll be back after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
All right, and we're back in the 8th end, and Strouse is up 7-4 on Lime. And we can do a little update on the other sheets quickly, just before we get into this end. Sarah Anderson won over Shiel. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those names right. 8-1. And Christine McMacken they're in the 7th end. She is up 6-5 against Rachel Workin. So she's got some work to do. That was a horrible pun. And this is the 7th draw. I'm noticing that now as I'm going through Curling Zone.
Yep.
And the next draw, we've got Hagen Butch against Madison Bear, and a team from Korea against Sarah Anderson. And that is at 7:30 p.m. Central Time.
Yep, Curling Zone will be providing coverage for those draws, so those are interested. We'll be on for those and the playoff games tomorrow as well. So, but back to this game, a few misses early on here. The first, I would assume that was an attempted corner guard that slid in the rings, and then on the subsequent peel attempt, just kind of ticked it over.
Yeah, it's an odd setup actually. I didn't get a good look at what happened the first couple rows because I was looking at the other games, but it's a very weird setup if I'm, just tuning into this now, looking at this. It's not the most usual last end when a team is down, this many. Wide open hit for Strouse. And it looks like they'll get a piece of that.
Yep. Yeah, Keith, I mean, they made contact. They just touched the side of it. And it just missed it on the inside. And then Steve had mentioned, that Team Anderson's just playing with 3 this weekend, and Eileen has been out.
And Anderson is currently 2-1 in the qualifying round. So pretty good for only having 3 players then.
Yeah.
Although I was going to say some say that maybe that's an advantage having 3.
Yeah, I mean it's worked out for Gushu.
Oh, is Gushu playing with 3?
Oh, I'm just referencing last season, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder with these teams playing with three if they'll start doing it for a little bit more of that money, you know. But
Actually, there was a team in Alberta, Aaron Suchinsky. They only played with three last
yeah,
season, I believe. And, I think a couple teams were a little unsure if that was almost an advantage and if it should even be allowed.
yeah,
Because you're getting, the lead and second are getting an extra rock, and in 3 rocks in a row, you can get your weight pretty good, I think.
yeah. We even got complaints about that at league play, that some people didn't like certain people throwing 3 rocks per game and felt that was an unfair advantage. I'm like, it's league play in Oklahoma, guys. Not that big of a deal. Like
Yeah.
it's cool. It's fine. We're all fine here.
In your leagues in Oklahoma, do you have to use the sanctioned broom heads, or is
Oh
it kind
no.
of a free for all?
Yeah, we can use whatever you want. You can. Yep. No thoughts on that. I mean, we have a lot of homegrown curlers, not a lot. We used to have quite a few expats, but not a lot. And so actually, I would be very surprised if 90% of our club members actually knew about the WCF approved, fabrics and whatnot. But
Okay,
getting
so we're
back to the
filling this corner guard.
Yeah, getting back to the game, I gotta think they meant for that other shot to go into the rings here. Just coming up light. It's not a bad result having another corner there, but I get the feeling they needed that in. Ooh, little thin, but enough.
I don't think you're sweating too hard, as Strauss right now, are you?
Oh no, yeah, with a lead of 3 and a team that's very, very capable hitters, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of teams live for these ends of just, let's just get rid of as many of the opposition rocks as we can and
Yeah.
run them out of rocks. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a few viewers at this game.
Yeah.
Just judging by the background there. It's great to have in-person viewing an option and also, stream at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's great. Like I mean, I think Minnesota, I think is, gosh, I want to say like a 12-hour drive for me, and so not too often I get to kind of see high level curling, especially United States curling. Although
Where would
there's
you say where would you
okay,
say is the capital of curling in the US? Like what's the, most populous group of curlers?
well, I mean, some people want to fight me for this answer, but I mean, if I don't say St. Paul, right, like Minneapolis, St. Paul, where there's, gosh, a handful of clubs just in that metro area, right, between Blaine here, St. Paul, Frogtown, Chaska. That's got to be it. Other people will tell you it's Wisconsin,
Yeah.
But I mean, there's other great curling metros, like Chicago's got 3 clubs there now. Denver just opened a second one in that metro area. And curling's been growing in the South too, which has been fantastic. If you ever get a chance to curl in the Southern U.S., I will say you will not find a more passionate group of curlers.
I would love that. And I think something about having a smaller community of curlers is kind of a cool thing in a way. You know everybody, and um, yeah, again, like everyone's so passionate about it because there's just not many of them. You kind of have to,
Oh yeah.
be loud and proud about it. And even in Canada, where there's so many curlers here, it's still such a small community of people, and everybody knows each other. And I kind of love that about the sport.
Steve in the chat mentioning there's another one close to St. Croix River too. I'm not familiar. I'm sorry, I'm not as familiar with that area, but I know there's a lot up there in that area. So yeah, it's very common for me to talk to people from that area that they say they have the option to basically bonspiel every weekend. Within 2-hour drive, there's multiple clubs they can go to.
There's just a straight peel here for Strouse.
Yeah, basically straight peel and then hope for 2 misses.
Or is she? Sorry, is she playing at the back one actually?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could do it. Yeah, and if it over curls, then you get the top one is fine too. I guess.
Yeah, either one.
You just can't be wide here.
Yeah, totally.
Looks like they are just gonna get that top one.
Oh, they just nicked it, but she had enough weight to almost get that out. Not quite.
Yep. Steve had mentioned Duluth being another hotbed. Yep, Duluth. Very, very big. Home to some Olympic curlers, yeah. In Wisconsin. Eau Claire. Eau Claire's been great. I loved my time up in Eau Claire. Madison's a fun club. Got to curl in Rice Lake as well. That's a fun one. Keith, I don't know much about Michigan. I know there's a few up there, I think. Kalamazoo, I hear, has a good spiel. Detroit's got one. They've got kind of a new kind of restaurant bar curling concept. It's not a full curling sheet, but it's enough to get people, I think, interested and get a different subset of curlers.
I've never curled in the US, but I would absolutely love to do that.
I've never curled in Canada.
Oh, well, that should be on your bucket list.
It is, yeah. I've talked to a few friends about it, but yeah, need to make that happen.
Yeah, I'll give you a list of all the good spiels.
Yes, please do. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah.
It's actually growing a lot, I think, the sport here, because I mean, I work at a curling club just as a receptionist, and
sure.
We see so many adults coming in trying curling for the first time, and I don't know what's persuading them to do it. Maybe it's the Olympics or who knows, but it makes me very happy to see all the different types of people coming and trying the sport.
And that's been ripped out.
Yep, and that'll be the game. Yeah, good effort by both teams. It was a good game. Strouse just had, the upper hand, and their doubles were quite incredible, I must say. It was good to see them making so many shots like that.
Yeah, it's they played really well, and I mean, it's no surprise that they're at top of their pool at 4-0, and now Rhyme unfortunately dropping their second one of the day. I think they're dropped down to 2-2 now in their pool.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to check Curling Zone for that. But yeah, thank you all for tuning into the stream. And I'm back commentating with my brother, who Mark commentated with earlier today. Hopefully we worked out some of the kinks from this game. But thank you for letting me join you. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun. Yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. What time are we going to be back on for the next one? Or are you guys
Good question.
On for the next one?
Central time, it would be, I want to say 7:30.
7:30, yeah.
Lying. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's right. So everyone watching at home, more curling.
7:30 Central, yes. And hopefully we'll see you guys back there. All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same.